Hi everyone! In this video I'll be reviewing the Holo Taco Tea Cremes collection. We'll be taking a look at swatches of all 7 polishes in this collection, colour comparisons to other polishes in the Holo Taco range, and finally I'll show you how these polishes perform in some nail art techniques. Let's get started! The Tea Cremes collection is Holo Taco's fall 2021 release and contains 6 tea-inspired shades in a creme finish, along with 1 flake topper polish that complements the creme shades. This video is not sponsored, however, Holo Taco did very kindly send me the Tea Cremes collection as PR. Having said that, the opinions in this video are my own honest thoughts. So let's see the polishes. The first polish I'm swatching is Gold Flake Taco. This is a topper that consists of thin gold flakes in a clear base. The flakes are irregular and lie flat on the nail. I'm showing it here in 1 coat on my naked nail. You can see that the gold flakes are dispersed evenly across the nail. If you want a heavier application of gold flakes, you can sponge the polish on, which as you can see here will give you a more opaque finish with the gold flakies. With all the swatches, I'm finishing by applying a quick dry glossy top coat, which helps smooth and protect the manicure. I'll be showing what Gold Flake Taco looks like as a topper over the rest of the polishes in this collection as I review each shade. Now for the creme polishes. First up is Matcha Maker. This is a pale pistachio green shade inspired by a matcha latte. I'm really happy with how easily and smoothly this applied, and it has excellent self-leveling. This actually goes for all of the creme shades in this collection. They are my favourite creme polishes from Holo Taco so far in terms of ease of application. I got full coverage of Matcha Maker in 2 coats. Now on my hand, I'm showing you Matcha Maker on my middle finger alongside some of the similar shades from Holo Taco's range. On my thumb, I'm wearing Mint Money. On my index finger, I'm wearing Mint Mojito. On my ring finger, I'm wearing Seafoam Home. And on my pinky, I'm wearing Full Charge. With all the creme shades, I'm going to show you how they look with a variety of Holo Taco toppers, including the Gold Flake Taco that comes with the Tea Cremes collection. So here, from left to right, Matcha Maker is topped with Flaky Holo Taco, Everything Taco, Gold Flake Taco, Galactic Unicorn Skin, and Cosmic Unicorn Skin. And here are the same combinations, finished with a matte top coat. Next up is Butterscotch Hop. This is a lovely, bright, warm yellow shade, and it feels perfect for early autumn when you just aren't ready to let go of summer yet. It applies very smoothly, but with slightly less coverage per coat than the other shades in the collection. I needed 3 coats for full coverage. Now on my hand, I'm showing you Butterscotch Hop on my middle finger. On my index finger, I'm wearing Banana Hacks. On my ring finger, I'm wearing Lemon Sucker. And on my pinky, I'm wearing Lemon Spritzer. And here, I'm showing you Butterscotch Hop with a range of toppers. From left to right, Flaky Holo Taco, Everything Taco, Gold Flake Taco, Galactic Unicorn Skin, and Solar Unicorn Skin. And here are the same combinations, finished with a matte top coat. Next up is See Y'all Later Chai. This is a warm beige shade inspired by a chai latte. Not only is this a great neutral shade for an understated manicure, but it's also a very versatile colour for nail art, so I'm really happy that this shade was included in the collection. As with the other shades, it applies very smoothly with good coverage, and I got full coverage in 2 coats. Now on my hand, I'm showing you See Y'all Later Chai on my middle finger. On my thumb, I'm wearing Banana Hacks. On my index finger, I'm wearing Lemon Spritzer. On my ring finger, I'm wearing Peach Tea. And on my pinky, I'm wearing 1 Melon Followers. And now here's See Y'all Later Chai topped with Scattered Holo Taco, Everything Taco, Gold Flake Taco, Lunar Unicorn Skin, and Sonic Unicorn Skin. And here are the same combinations, finished with a matte top coat. Next up is Bring Me The Teal. This is a deep teal shade. This colour is one of my all-time favourites, and it's perfect for fall. I got full coverage in 2 coats. Now on my hand, I'm showing you Bring Me The Teal on my middle finger. On my index finger, I'm wearing Royalty Blue. On my ring finger, I'm wearing Green Screen. And on my pinky, I'm wearing Mist Shift. And here is Bring Me The Teal topped with Scattered Holo Taco, Everything Taco, Gold Flake Taco, Sonic Unicorn Skin, and Lunar Unicorn Skin. And here are the same combinations with a matte top coat. Next up is I'm Over Brew. This is a rich red wine / maroon shade and another gorgeous classic shade for autumn. I got full coverage in 2 coats. Now on my hand, I'm showing you I'm Over Brew on my middle finger. On my index finger, I'm wearing Magenta Jelly. On my ring finger, I'm wearing Cat's Evasion. And on my pinky, I'm wearing Purple with Envy. And now here's I'm Over Brew topped with Linear Holo Taco, Everything Taco, Gold Flake Taco, Solar Unicorn Skin, and Aurora Unicorn Skin. And here are the same combinations, finished off with a matte top coat. Finally, we have Tea Hibiscus. This is an intense pink magenta shade. Another fantastic color for nail art, but also a stunner on its own. As with all the shades, the formula is so easy to work with and it dries really shiny. I got full coverage in 2 coats. Now on my hand, I'm showing you Tea Hibiscus on my middle finger, alongside some similar shades from Holo Taco's range. On my index finger, I'm wearing Magenta Jelly. On my ring finger, I'm wearing Hot Wire Pink. And on my pinky, I'm wearing Pink Fizz. And here's Tea Hibiscus, topped with Scattered Holo Taco, Everything Taco, Gold Flake Taco, Lunar Unicorn Skin, and Cosmic Unicorn Skin. And here are the same combinations, finished with a matte top coat. Now for some nail art. I tested the 6 creme polishes with sponge gradients, stamping, and water marbling, so let's see how they perform. To do a sponge gradient, I'm using a makeup sponge and 3 different shades from the collection, and I'm taking care to overlap the colours on the sponge. I started off with 1 coat of See You Later Chai on the nail, which helps the sponged polish adhere to the nail. With this design, I'm going to try and make it look like a sunset over the ocean. So for the sunset, I'm using I'm Over Brew, Tea Hibiscus, and Butterscotch Hop. And then for the ocean and beach part, I'm doing a gradient of Bring Me The Teal, Matcha Maker, and See You Later Chai, starting halfway down the nail. The sponge gradients apply really well with great coverage, so I was able to get them finished off with 2 coats of sponging. To finish off the nail art design, I used a detail brush to apply a semicircle on the horizon with Butterscotch Hop. I then added some waves on the beach with Not Milky White, and cleaned up the horizon with Bring Me The Teal. I then finished by adding some Gold Flake Taco to resemble sunlight shining off the ocean. And finally, I applied a glossy top coat to complete the manicure. Let me know what you think. Next up, I wanted to see how these polishes could be used for nail stamping. These polishes are not intended for stamping, but they are pretty heavily pigmented, so let's see how it goes. I'm applying small amounts of polish to the stamping plate, and then scraping across once with a scraper, trying not to blend the colours too much so that we can really see how each different colour looks. I found that I did have to work quite quickly because these polishes do dry pretty fast, so it's important to pick up the design with the stamper immediately after scraping. First, I'm stamping over a base of Not Milky White, and I'm actually pretty impressed with how vibrant the colours look stamped. I also stamped them over one coat black, and you can see that they lose a bit of vibrancy, but you still can distinctly see each colour. So overall, I'm pretty impressed with their stamping performance, even though that's not what they are made for. Finally, I'm going to see how these polishes water marble. I start by applying drops of the polishes into a cup of filtered room temperature water. You can see that the drops of polish float and expand on the water, but as they start to dry, they begin shrinking again, which does make it slightly more difficult to work with than other polishes. Still, I was able to drag a toothpick through the bullseye to create a design. I then used a swatch stick with a coat of not milky white already applied to dip into the design, and I cleared away the rest of the polish before bringing the swatch stick back out. You can see that the colours blend into each other a bit, so the end result is kind of unpredictable, but it still looks really cool. Would you like to see more water marbled nail art videos using this collection? Let me know in the comments. So, final thoughts. The Tea Cremes collection is a perfect collection for the autumn season, and these creme polishes are my favourite cremes that Holo Taco have released so far. They all apply really easily, they're self-leveling, and they dry reasonably quickly. They're also great additions to my nail art collection, and I can't wait to do more nail art with them. What do you think about this collection? I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you liked this video and thought it was helpful, please leave a like, check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you next time.